Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rohan, and in this video I'll be breaking down the upcoming UFC World Lightweight Championship fight between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. Now, I'm really excited about this fight, and this fight to me is very important because this fight to me demonstrates just the importance of perseverance, and it's why I persevere with this channel and keep putting out content for you guys, because I love mixed martial arts and combat sports, but fights like this is what it's about. It's two guys that took the long road to the top, and here they are meeting to be able to walk away and call themselves the #1 lightweight in the sport, the most packed division in the whole MMA. It's amazing. In Charles Oliveira, you got a guy who debuted in the UFC at 21 years old with a record of 12-0 and was heavily touted to be a future superstar in the beginning. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way for him, and in his first 18 fights in the UFC, he went 10-8 and became somewhat of a gatekeeper / journeyman. But he's revitalized his career with 8 straight wins, and he's right here fighting for the belt. He fights Michael Chandler, a former 3-time Bellator world champion who got knocked out by Patricio Pitbull in his last Bellator world title fight, and rebounded from that with 2 straight wins. Now, he was 34 years old and no one thought he would be able to do anything, but here he is, 1 win later in the UFC with a big knockout. He's fighting for a world title once again, and the biggest world title of his career. So exciting. So without further ado, let's go through this fight and let's break this one down. So Charles Oliveira is 31 years old. That makes him 4 years younger than the 35-year-old Michael Chandler. Now, whilst Michael Chandler's 35 and getting on in age, I don't think he's shown any telltale signs of slowing down or wearing down. Actually, if you look at him training, he's training like a beast. This dude is in immaculate shape. I'll say he's still in his prime. I don't think age should be a concern here. Michael Chandler comes into this fight with a professional record of 22 wins and 5 losses, and Charles Oliveira is 30 wins and 8 losses. Both of these guys have been in the main event spotlight a lot of times. They've both been around for a long time. Experience won't be a factor in this fight. Charles Oliveira stands at 5'10" inches tall, and Michael Chandler stands at 5'8" inches tall. So Charles Oliveira is going to have a nice 2-inch reach advantage over Michael Chandler, and that's going to be very interesting on the feet because, you know, it's something that Charles Oliveira is going to want to utilize and try to make the most of in this fight. Charles Oliveira's fighting style is basically a Muay Thai BJJ hybrid. I think where he shines is his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's where he's exceptional. But on the feet, he's actually improved so much. His Muay Thai's gotten so much better. He's got good combinations in his boxing. He's got great kicks. With Michael Chandler, what we're looking at more of is a explosive boxer who carries big power in his hands, and he's got good wrestling. And I think where he shines in his stand-up is in the explosions. He's not a guy who's going to come out there and technically piece you apart. He lacks the explosion to those strikes and do damage. He's always carried power in those hands, and I think that's where he shines. The key wins that Charles Oliveira has coming into this fight is the likes of Tony Ferguson in his most recent fight. He obviously beat Kevin Lee. He beat David Teymur, and that's a key point for me in his career, because David Teymur was 5-0 in the UFC. He's actually a very decorated kickboxer, and Charles Oliveira beat him on the feet. That's very, very important to remember that. Of course, throughout his career, he's beaten guys like Jim Miller, Clay Guida, good fighters, Jeremy Stevens, so he deserves a lot of respect. Michael Chandler, whilst in the UFC, has only beaten Dan Hooker, who's, you know, a top-tier UFC lightweight. He also holds 2 wins over former UFC and WEC lightweight world champion Benson Henderson. He's beaten Patricio Pitbull twice. That's Patricio Pitbull's brother, who's also a good fighter. He, of course, beat Eddie Alvarez in that incredible fight, and he's beaten the likes of Gioti Yamauchi and just talented fighters that I think a lot of. So Michael Chandler has a great resume coming into this fight. The biggest issue that stands out for me when we're looking at Charles Oliveira is his susceptibility to be hit, and in the past he's shown himself to be chinny. I think Michael Chandler carries big power, and if he clips in, we're going to see Charles Oliveira, you know, struggle. Although he has shown himself to be a bit more durable lately, and it's been a long time since he got knocked out, so that should help him. And for Michael Chandler, there seems to be mental lapses in this fight. Think about his fight with Will Brooks. What happened there? That was really strange. I don't think he should have lost to Will Brooks once, but he's lost to him twice. So that's really unfortunate, really, when you look at his career in that way. And there's been moments in Michael Chandler's career where I felt like he could have walked away with the win, but there's just been something missing in his game that he didn't implement, and I don't think it's physical or skill-wise. It's just a mental edge some point that gives away. And also, he is getting older, so whilst I said he's still in his physical prime, you still have to consider how's this going to play out. The X factor for Charles Oliveira is going to be the momentum that he's riding into his fight and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he's very, very dangerous on the ground, and he's improved on the feet a lot. With Michael Chandler, I think the X factor is going to be with the power in his hands and his wrestling, so that he can use it defensively to keep it on the feet, and then if he does go down, he can try hold position, kind of like Paul Felder did, and beat Charles Oliveira down. Right. With that said, let's get into the prediction. Now, this is a very interesting fight because I'm inclined to say this fight will be settled on the feet because I think Michael Chandler's wrestling will be able to keep this on the feet, and I think that's exactly what he's going to want to do. He's going to want to avoid the ground game. Now, whilst I think it's true he's going to want to avoid the ground game, I don't think he's going to be that much safer on the feet. Early into the fight, I think whilst Michael Chandler is still explosive, fresh, I think he's going to be able to do a lot of damage, and it's going to be those explosions and those power that keeps him safe. I think Charles Oliveira is going to find himself in trouble a couple of times in the first round, maybe even second round. But as the fight goes on, and I think it will go on, I don't think he will take out Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira is a kind of fighter who's like a human swarm. He doesn't get off you, he's on you like glue, and I think that's going to kind of make Michael Chandler struggle. I don't think he's going to be in there prepared for what Charles Oliveira is going to be bringing, particularly when you consider how much Charles Oliveira has improved in his game. As the fight goes on and Michael Chandler wears down and his stand-up's not so explosive and powerful no more, I think Charles Oliveira is going to start putting together bigger combinations. Look back to his fight with David Hamer, again, that's the best example I can give you because he's such a good striker. And see when he starts putting them combinations together how dangerous he can be on the feet. As Michael Chandler starts to get exhausted, he will probably end up shooting for a takedown, at which point I think Charles Oliveira catches him with a choke or something. So fight fans, I'm thinking that Charles Oliveira nabs a neck, nabs a limb, nabs something later into the fight, and we're looking at a round 4, round 5 submission victory for Charles do Bronx Oliveira to finally become a UFC lightweight champion. It's going to be a great moment, and if I'm wrong, and I've been wrong so many times, if you follow this channel to any level, you'll know that. Cool, because I'll be so excited to see Michael Chandler walk away with a world title to his name. That's incredible. That will excite me too, especially after everything that he's been through. 3-time Bellator world champion. What a great fight. What great matchmaking by the UFC. I just cannot wait. Anyways, remember to comment below. Let me know how you see this fight going. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video if you're new to the channel. Help me grow the platform. Thank you for watching all. I'm Rohan, and this is Mindful Combat.